Hi everyone, it's Mish here and welcome to my channel. If you're new, thank you so much for stopping by, and I hope that you like what you see and want to be a subscriber. And for all of you lovely people who are leaving comments and supporting me, I thank you so much. So today we are going to do another page. Our Daphne's Diary, it's almost time that I'll be making another one, is almost full. And once it's full, I think I will sew in the signatures so that it becomes a little bit more robust and get rid of the elastics. But they serve a good purpose in that I can take pages in and out as I need to. So if you haven't seen the previous videos, every page here has a video. So just check the playlist and yeah, and it makes for some interesting watching time. So we are going to be doing another page. As I said, I'm going to be using issue number 1 from the 2024. I don't have the second issue yet, but I think it'll be here any day. And so as I was flipping through, a few images kind of caught my eye. I just love this little guy, this little doggy. He just makes me happy. He's kind of looking. So when I was looking at him, I was thinking, why is he looking a little perplexed, or like he's saying, what's going on? And I was thinking, well, what could he be looking at? So as I was flipping through, I saw these birds on a branch, and you know, I think that he's kind of looking up at the little birds on the little branch. Maybe he wants to play, or maybe he's just listening. I think maybe he understands what they're saying because they're in some heavy conversation here. So I'm just going to go away. I'm going to cut out some of the images and then I'll be back. Okay, so I've done a couple things. I've just got a piece of my pattern paper and I took out one of the inserts and just made my background. And I also was searching around for something, and I decided to use the coffee cups that was in the poster of that issue. So I've cut those out because this is going to make kind of the background of my image. I think that's just gorgeous. So I'm just going to tack that down before we go any further. My question is, if I put a lot of glue on this, it's probably going to warp. I could use the Fabri-Tac. I'll just use my Elmer's glue. I'm just not going to put a lot of glue onto it, just mainly around the edges so that the edges tack down. It doesn't have to be welded on, in my opinion, as long as it doesn't lift up or catch on something else that's say in the opposite page. It's a kind of overcast, dreary day today. We're getting some snow flurries. But so far, besides that great big dump of snow that we got, I think it was at the beginning of March. Maybe it was the end of February. When literally I had about 4 feet of snow in my yard over like a week and a half. Okay, so the bonus of using just kind of liquid glue is that you do have a little bit of time to put stuff down. Now this, does that look kind of straight? No, it looks a little bit crooked that way. This Elmer's glue, it does dry reasonably fast. I need it over about there, I think. Looks kind of straight across the bottom. Yeah, and once you, like now that I'm pressing it down, it'd be hard to get that back up. So even though these coffee cups were kind of the center of the layout, and I'll show you in just a second here. So they were right in the middle where it was folding. And I thought, well, am I going to see the actual crease? But you really don't see it that much. Like you can hardly see that was a fold line there. There was a fold line there, and then and here, so there was like a fold there, but you can't really see that. Okay, so I'm going to trim this off so that I kind of know what I'm working with here. And I initially cut out the birds on the branch because I thought I would, initially I was thinking I'd find a background that I can just put the birds on the tree. Oh, that was but then I cut the birds out individually, and I did back them on some harder cardstock, and then I've put them on little foam pads, because what I thought we would do is just kind of add a little dimension with them sitting on the rims of the cups, and they're having like a conversation, a big conversation. And I'm not sure if they're going to go there, but and our little boy, he's sitting on the edge of the saucer, and he's kind of looking up, thinking, where's all that noise coming from? So we'll get him tacked down, and then we'll decide what we're going to do about the birds. So it's funny because he sits almost perfectly on the edge of that saucer. See, he sits almost perfectly on that saucer. Excuse me, I got a tickle in my throat. Hang on one sec. All right. Yeah, so he's kind of looking around thinking, because see, we hear music, well, I do, when the birds sing, but maybe other animals actually hear them talking, hear what they're saying, at least in my imaginary world. So I don't know if you remember, if you watched the last video, but I had cut out just some little watercolor flowers that I didn't end up using, and that was from the same issue. I'm not sure if I can find the page, but it was from the same issue. Oh, here. So on this page, there was a lot of watercolor flowers that I cut off. And I didn't use for the last layout, but I wanted to add a little bit of color. So I thought that I could add like some flowers as if they're coming out of the teacup. And then we can put our little birds on in a minute. But I wasn't exactly sure where I wanted some of the flowers. I just knew I had to cover up some spots, like where I had cut off the poster. You can see this little bit there on the handle of that one. But I think if we just dot them around, and then I had to cut there was a dog's head that I cut out of there. But I'm thinking we could do that and kind of put that there. And then we've got one more that I could make it so that it's kind of sitting there. I kind of like how that's distributed. So let's put those down. And of course, if you found something else in your magazine, or in the magazine that you liked better, but I kind of thought this would work well because it looks like it's coming it's growing out of the coffee. And I'll tell you, there's days that I think that my coffee grows, I grow with my coffee. I don't know, sometimes I've tried to give up coffee. I'm trying decaf now, which I don't mind the taste, and so I'm okay with that. But it's just I like coffee. I like the bitter taste, I guess. I don't like sugar in my coffee, but I do like French vanilla and stuff like that. So what if we put that like that? I kind of like that because then it looks like, you can't really see it on camera, but it looks like the stems are coming out of the coffee cup. I mean, I could even kind of put that up there. No, but I need to hide that there. So I'm good with that being there along the edge. Let's live on the edge. Chester's usually in my craft room, but now that it's getting a little bit springy, there's more birds and stuff in the garden, and he likes sitting in the... I got him a little perch, like a calyx unit I have in front of the window, and on top of that I got from IKEA, and then I got a little sheepskin that you can get there, so I've got that kind of sitting on top, and that's his favorite summer spot. Okay, let's get those down, those leaves. Okay, and then I'm just going to trim that off. And then we'll think about, I like that, little doggy. And then, so then we'll position our birdies. And we've got 2 that are facing towards the right, and we have 3 that are facing towards the left. So this guy looks like he's flying in. And if I put him there, as if he's kind of flying, then you can see the little doggies looking at him. And he does look like he's kind of in flight. So I'm happy to have him there. And then maybe these 2 are kind of sitting there. And these 2, he could be sitting on a leaf. He could be sitting in the leaves. I do like this one here, so I'm going to put that there. And he's kind of sitting on the rim looking down at this guy. And he's saying, "Hey Joe, what's going on? How's the wife?" Oh, she's nesting right now. Get it, nesting? Okay, and then I kind of like how that goes. So I'm going to put a saying, which I think I'm going to put here. So I'm kind of happy with that. So this kind of looks like he's sitting on that leaf, and he's kind of looking down at this guy. And this guy's saying, "Let's go to the beach today." I love going to the beach. Okay, so we've got our little birds down. So then, just to kind of add a little bit of something, I've got some Wink Estella here, and I did use this last week as well, which is just a glittery, I don't know if you want to call it a water pen. There's like a glycerin base to it. This one is almost done. So I've had this one for, so you can see it's kind of like a glitter. And I kind of thought if we did the whites, because this dries, like there's no dimension to it at all. It's just kind of sparkly. And I thought if we did kind of the whites, that when I turn the page, then that will catch the light. It's hard to tell in this light because I got tons of lights on right now because it's dreary outside. But I'm kind of liking that. And then the saying that I had was, "We are the music makers in the orchestra of life," because I just felt that they were making music. And these stickers come from Art by Marlene. There's some of her stickers. So, what if we put that? We are the music makers in the orchestra of life. I love that. So we'll stick it back in the book. Although I think I might wait until that dries. So that's our layout for today. If you did like it, please give me a like. And if you haven't subscribed, I would love for you to subscribe. And I'm kind of thinking it might go there. Yeah, I kind of like that. I think it's going to end up going right there. I had kind of thought it would go, like I'd put something else there, but I do like the dark backgrounds together, so that's where it's going to go. But yeah, so if you haven't subscribed, I'd love for you to subscribe and leave me a comment. They really do make my day, especially a long, hard day at work. And then I read a comment, it just uplifts me. But until we meet again, stay safe. Oh, the other thing I was going to mention, I mentioned it in my last Daphne's Diary, and I think I mentioned it in one of the Marguerite Miller, one of my collage days, is if you want to participate in a postcard swap, I'd love for you to do that. I love getting canceled stamps, and a postcard isn't that expensive to send around the world. So if you'd like a postcard from Nova Scotia, from Canada, either a junk journal one or an extra souvenir one, like from our Peggy's Cove or the Citadel Hill here in Halifax, some iconic places in Nova Scotia, then just send me an email. My email is mishcrafty8664@gmail.com. It is in the description box below. And I'd love to swap a postcard with you. So until we meet again, I do hope you stay safe and well, and bye for now.